Yesterday, we spoke to prominent British Muslim Mo Ansar. His meeting with the former leader of the English Defence League, Tommy Robinson, was the subject of a BBC One documentary. The EDL have campaigned against what they see as the Islamification of Britain. Here's a clip from the film. Tommy Robinson is explaining his view of the Quran.
The Quran, you can take sexual slaves. You can take sexual slaves. Whatever outside of your four wives.
That you can take non-Muslim women as sexual slaves. I don't think you could find it.
It is nice to see you reading the Quran, though, I have to say.
It's obviously not making a difference, is it? Because you're still distorting it.
No, I'm not distorting. I'm reading it. If you fear that you not deal justly with the orphan girls, then marry those that please you of other women, 2, 3 or 4. If you fear that that will not be just, then take what your right arm possesses, i.e. slaves.
Where does it say sexual slaves?
Slaves, you can take...
No, where does it say sexual slaves? Where does it say sexual slaves? Don't distort it.
Well, yesterday when I spoke to Mo Ansar, he had this to say.
I did have an impression of Tommy. I thought he was... I had painted him as some kind of Goebbels-esque figure for, you know, the 21st century, and there are elements of them...
He wasn't like that?
No, I think, you know... Spending time with somebody always humanises them, and actually I think I found Tommy... There are soft sides to Tommy, although I think his rhetoric has been disturbing, and I think the impact he's had on Muslim communities across the country has been disturbing, and so I think, you know, there are, like many people, Tommy's a complex character.
Mo Ansar talking about Tommy Robinson, who is in the studio with us now. Well, he described you, Tommy Robinson, as a complex character. How would you describe Mo, having spent time with him?
I liked Mo. I liked him, personality-wise. What I found was that he was in denial. Even at the end of watching his interview yesterday, when we brought up grooming, I felt he's trying to push the problem away again. And when we've got Muslim leaders who are being given platforms, if he spends 95% of his time talking about Islamophobia and all these different things from people who are criticising the ideology, if he switched that and spent 95% of his time tackling the problems within the community, then we might be getting somewhere. But Mo just wants to be seen as a defender of Muslims and defender of Islam, rather than accepting we have these problems. And even then, when he was talking about he had this image of me, that's the image that everyone's been given of all them people there. All these normal, ordinary people who are supporters of...
Why did you leave the English Defence League?
I left, I felt it was the way forward. For years I'd been making a noise and trying to get issues out that working class people were feeling in their communities. And then I didn't want to... I wanted to be part of a solution rather than a problem moving forward.
Because you think the English Defence League is not working. Are you ashamed that you were part of the English Defence League?
I'm not ashamed, no. I'm proud that I started it. I'm proud that it's given people hope. I'm proud it's given a platform. But now I want to see the way forward, and to get to the solution, we need to solve the problems. Rather than just making noise about it, we need to decide how we move forward. And moving forward is working with reformists and true moderates within the Islamic community who are willing to accept there are these problems and how we're going to solve them together.
Have you actually changed your views, though, Tommy Robinson? Because the documentary was all about you going on a journey of supposed enlightenment that culminates in your decision to quit the EDL. But you tweeted just before the programme that your views haven't changed. So is this just they haven't changed?
They haven't changed. When you say my views, I was 26 years old when I started this movement. I've made some mistakes along the way. I'm on a journey at present. When we say views, a lot of my views have been distorted over the years of what we stand for and what we represent.
All right, well, let's ask you, first of all, what's your goal now? I mean, your goal initially was you wanted Muslims out of Britain. You've accepted that can't happen.
That's never been my goal.
Hasn't it?
No, never. I've never said I want Muslims out of Britain. My goal now is there's a massive gap. Working class communities have been pushed to the side. People don't feel like they're even part of the fabric of this society anymore.
But that's not the fault of the Muslim community.
No, it's not. But they are alienated. And I don't like to bring it down to race or colour, but there's a reason why working class children are now the biggest underachievers in this country. There's a reason for it. People don't feel they've got the opportunities or any of this, and a lot of the opportunity for people to turn to the genuine far right is coming from this resentment that they're seeing, all of these issues. My goal now is to give a platform, a healthy platform for debate, rather than out on the street like that, to bring these issues to the forefront that need talking, they need debating, and people need to see that they're getting somewhere with them.
Do you still regard Islam as a religion of violence and fascists?
I think that saying Islam is a religion of peace it's not true. That within the scripture is completely unfactual.
So you still believe that it is a religion of violence?
I believe that it's down to interpretations of that scripture. Now, we have great Muslims. When I've met Osama Hassan from Quilliam, he's an extremely religious man. There's not one part of what he believes that he wishes for violence. But we can't say that people following the same book and interpreting the same scripture who are wanting to use it to use it for murder, for violence.
I still don't understand what it is you're trying to achieve. You want to stop what you call the Islamification of Britain. Is that what you see as happening?
When I saw a poll, one of the main reasons as well for me, I saw a poll that said it was 33% one year and it went up to 40% last year of people who believe this will end in an inevitable violent conflict between Muslims and non-Muslims. That's terrifying.
Right.
As that goes forward, that will get people start preparing for that. And what I don't want is the communities and the estates that we live in will be those communities affected by this conflict.
All right, but you still believe that it is. If you still believe it's a religion of violence, do you want to still ban the building of mosques?
I believe that we must regulate and moderate mosques. We want to know who's talking. We shouldn't have Iran, Saudi Arabia and Qatar to dictate in which form of Islam, Wahhabi, Salafi, all these extremist sects which are encouraging non-integration. To move forward, we need reformists to be given a voice and platform. Mo Ansar, for me, is the wrong person to be pushing up because he's not accepting fault. And when you asked him a question yesterday about the chopping off of hands, what you have to ask him is, Mo, do you believe that in an Islamic state, governed by Sharia, when you meet the criteria, should you chop off hands?
He said he didn't believe it.
Not in Britain, but when he was pushed by Majid Nawaz, that's when he can't get out of it. Now,
you, Tommy Robinson, in that clip there, are also distorting the facts to fit your narrative. You distorted the facts on a part of the Quran on keeping slaves or women as slaves, not as sexual slaves. That's how you've interpreted it, to link it to the recent high-profile cases of predominantly Pakistani men grooming white girls. Do you still stand by that?
What I'm saying is, when I read the Quran, it says 14 times that they can take non-Muslim women as slaves. It says it 14 times. I'm saying we have to explore this avenue, why 95% of grooming convictions are Muslim men and 20% of them are called Muhammad. We have to explore that. And now, to get to the root cause of the problem and the bottom of the problem, if we can't explore that, maybe I'm not manipulating, maybe the men that are justifying their crimes and why they're doing this in large groups of brothers, cousins, friends from work, that's not normal paedophilia. That's a problem. Now, we have to explore to get to the... If we want to solve it, we've got to get to the root cause of the problem.
Do you still speak to anyone in the English Defence League?
I buried my head in the sand for the last 2 weeks since leaving the English Defence League because this is a community, it's where I live, it's the people I see on a daily basis. I upset a lot of people the way I've done it. But I think people who understand the cause, yeah? And the cause is not to have conflicts. We don't want conflicts.
But do you still speak to anyone in the English Defence League?
I haven't for 2 weeks, but will I? Yeah.
Right.
Because I see the only way to solve this problem is to involve certain people from the English Defence League to show them this is the way, which is what I'm saying to my supporters and followers. I believe this is the way forward. I believe that they should work and listen and meet reformists, moderates, and to solve these issues.
Do you want to see integration between some of your former friends in the English Defence League and the Muslim community?
We have to. I don't want to. We have to. If this opportunity is given up and not used, if it's not used, then what will replace the English Defence League in 10 years will be catastrophic for the country.
Tommy Robinson, thank you.